Hey guys, it's Bridget again, and I wanted to share confirmations about the 3 days of darkness and whether or not the bride will be here um, during the 3 days of darkness. So I got three dreams and a couple of other confirmations about the 3 days of darkness and if we're gonna be here to see it. And I believe we are going to be here to witness the 3 days of darkness, but I don't know if we're gonna be here for the full 3 days or just 1 or 2 days. I really don't know. So that's, I guess, something that maybe you can pray about and ask the Lord to reveal it to you, but I'm just giving you my confirmation. And so how it started was we were listening, my mom and I were listening to Miss Diana Landris. She was talking about the word that the Lord gave her about the coming 3 days of darkness. And so we wanted confirmation, and so we prayed about it. And we decided to take 3 day fast. We didn't eat anything, just drank water, and we did the fast Wednesday to Friday, and we got confirmation that same weekend after fasting. And so I'll just read to you the first dream that I got that weekend, and then also just this past weekend, the weekend of, well, on Sunday the 9th, I got another dream confirming the 3 days of darkness. So I'll read to you, I wrote it down, I'll read to you my first dream that I got. Okay, so in my dream, I was going to meet a friend. She was coming to South Africa with her boyfriend. The boyfriend had a son, and I was to meet them in town, and so I did. We were in town talking and happy to see each other. Then I saw that we were at my house, the front of my house, and my mother was inside busy in the kitchen. I came inside to check up on her and just to say hello. My friends were outside. The girl was talking to our neighbors, and the guy was preparing balloons for his son because apparently it was his son's birthday. The balloons would make him go up and down for some reason, and that made his son laugh and it made him very happy. Then we went back to town and just sat and relaxed at some place in town. I really couldn't tell like where it was. Then we were talking and laughing and having a good time. It was a normal, bright and sunny day. Then I felt in my heart that I should tell them of the coming of Jesus and that it is very soon. I was nervous and didn't know how to tell them. Suddenly a young man, came to us and started talking about how time is short and that Jesus was coming quickly. I was happy he did so and found it as an opportunity to tell them about the coming 3 days of darkness. I told them that it will happen very soon and that Jesus will come and take his bride afterwards. At first they were a bit skeptical, but as I was talking, the weather started to change and the clouds became dark, heavy, and gray. Then it seemed like they were taking heed to the warnings and were starting to believe. The girl left to be with her family, and the guy wanted to be with his son. Suddenly, the son was like no longer with us. I don't know how that happened, but you know how weird dreams are. Okay, and okay, so his son was no longer with us, but I knew that he was back home. I had knowledge that the son was back home with his mother, so he was safe. The guy said he wanted to get to his son. He wants to make sure that his son will be okay. I told him not to worry about his son and that he needs to get to a safe place because the darkness was starting to creep in. I looked to the sky and the clouds were changing and becoming like a fiery red, like they were like boiling in, like they were just rolling in, and they also had this reddishness to them. I felt in my spirit that I needed to get home as soon as possible. I left the guy and was looking for transportation to take me back home. The people in the streets were starting to panic as they felt the sudden change in the atmosphere. People were running, walking fast, and scattering so they could get to their homes very quickly. I decided to walk very quickly to my house. As I was walking, I was about to pass a pub where some people were still inside drinking and having a good time. A car stopped in front of me. It looked like a very expensive and fancy car. Two men stepped out of it and were dressed all dapper and wearing expensive clothes, expensive labels. They were about to go inside the pub when I stopped them and said, "There's no time to go drink. The 3 days of darkness is here." They looked at me like I was crazy and annoying them, and one of them said, "Leave us alone. What nonsense are you talking about?" I looked up at the sky and could see and feel the darkness creeping in. It was really starting to creep in fast. And it was coming, the sky was getting darker and denser. I realized that those men were going to regret not listening, and I continued walking, and I walked as fast as I could possibly walk. Finally, I saw myself at home. My mom was already preparing, as she knew that it was the 3 days of darkness that was coming. She had food and water, and she moved it all into the room we were going to lock ourselves in. I knew that as the darkness was creeping in, it was God allowing us time to prepare and also to call our loved ones and tell them to lock themselves indoors. I then started helping my mum to prepare and get ready, and then I woke up from this dream. What this dream could mean, or as I was pondering over this dream, I just wrote down what it could mean, and yeah, so just here. So yeah, I wrote here, I think the Lord is telling us that the bride will witness the 3 days of darkness, and after that we should expect his coming. The Lord told Brother Byron Saw on May 24th, 2018 that the 3 days of darkness will be happening very, very soon in the coming days. Then the Lord gave word to his daughter Diana Landris, August 5th, 2018, that the 3 days of darkness is upon us and that she should warn her friends and her family and all her loved ones. After listening to them, I felt in my spirit the urgency in my after listening to Diana, that's when Mum and I decided to fast, of course, like I said before. And I felt in my spirit the urgency in my dream, and even after I woke up, I felt my spirit saying it could happen this year, 2018, because the time is very close and the Lord wants us to be ready and to warn the others. other people, like our loved ones. Another thing that was revealed was that a lot of people who enjoy the pleasures of this world and enjoy material things will be caught in the darkness and will be killed. Also, the guy in the dream, the one that was the boyfriend of my friend, in real life, I know he's someone that is a Christian and an outspoken Christian and always talking about God. And the girl in my dream in real life, I know is also a Christian but not very outspoken about it. So this also showed me how some dedicated Christians and also those who are not so outspoken about their faith are completely clueless about the 3 days of darkness and the coming judgments upon the world. 3 types of people who will be caught off guard and caught in the fire of God's judgment. So it's those types of 3 people. It's those who enjoy the pleasures of this world and basically don't really care to think about God. Those who are Christians and are living out their faith, and those who are Christians but are not really outspoken about it, because you do get people who are like that. I know so many people who are like that. Okay, so yeah, I think that's it. And then what happened after that is that well, I prayed about this dream, and I felt that it was the Lord's confirmation that we will see the 3 days of darkness. Yeah, and some time went by, and just this weekend on September 9th, in the early hours of the morning, I had a dream before 3 a.m. in the morning because I woke up at 3 in the morning. So before that, I had a dream, right? And in this dream, I was pregnant, and there was 2 other people who were also pregnant, and I knew these people in the dream, but I don't know them like in real life. And so the one person in the dream, she gave birth to her baby, and I saw her deliver her baby. And one thing that just popped out at me was how much pain she was in while in labor. And then later on, the second person who was pregnant also gave birth, and I witnessed her labor pains and everything, and she was in so much pain, and I was so very nervous because I was next to give birth. But just before I witnessed the second person giving birth, I had received an invitation of going to a tea party, and I somehow saw the place that we were going to have the tea party, and it was very beautiful. It was like such a beautiful garden, like so very beautiful. And I was so very excited, so happy to be invited to this tea party, and I just wanted to go. I wanted to go to the tea party. But then I was highly expecting, and I could give birth like at any moment. And I didn't want to give birth because I was so scared of the pain. And I remember seeing my mom in the dream, and I was saying to her, I don't want to give birth. I'm so scared. I just want to go to the tea party and enjoy it. And I remember my mom saying, no, just give birth now and get it out the way. Then you can go to the tea party and enjoy it. And I knew she was right, because I knew I wasn't going to I wasn't going to enjoy the tea party with labor pains, So I was so scared, and I was just like, oh, I just wish I could just skip past all of this and just go to the tea party. I also knew in the dream that I was going to give birth to a baby boy. And so I saw myself, I was so excited about the tea party. I saw myself getting dressed, well, not getting dressed, but like picking out clothes that I wanted to wear at the tea party. And I don't remember how the clothes looked like. I just remember that they were in a yellow color. And I also wanted to put on a head wrap on my head to cover my hair. So I remember I did fit the clothes because I wanted to see if they fit me. And I was so excited about these clothes, wearing these clothes at the tea party. But I knew that I still have to go through the pain of giving birth to my child before I go and enjoy the tea party. So then suddenly I saw myself in labor, and I was about to give birth just before the tea party. And I just told myself, you know what, just go through it, just be strong. In the end, you'll get to go to the tea party and enjoy it. And yeah, that's it. Like, basically at the end of the dream, I was in labor. I didn't see myself give birth, but I was in labor. And then I woke up. My phone woke me up, actually. So yeah. And what that meant, or the meaning that I got from that, was that you know how the Bible references birth pangs or birth pains of the tribulation. I think it's the birth pangs, or just before the tribulation. I'm not sure. I can't remember exactly. So I represented the woman in birth pains, or who is having labor pains, and the labor pains represent the tribulation, or the some of the horrifying things that is going to be happening here on earth. So I had to first go through some of the pain before I could enjoy the tea party. And now the tea party represented the wedding lamb, or wedding supper of the lamb, the bride and the groom's wedding day in heaven. That's us and Jesus in heaven. So I was so excited about the tea party, and I just wanted to skip through everything and just go to the tea party. But I first had to give birth. I first had to go through some of the pain to get to heaven, to the tea party, or to the wedding supper of the Lamb. So that's what my dream meant. And also, like, I didn't see myself give birth fully. I just saw like myself have the pain and stuff. I was about to go into labor, and I was already starting to get the pains. So that could also possibly mean that as the bride of Christ, we're going to see some of the birth pangs, some of the tribulation, or the beginning of the tribulation, and then only we'll get to go and enjoy ourselves in heaven and be with the Lord, be with the Father. So that's what I got. And then, of course, after that dream, I woke up, and then I prayed, and then I went back to sleep. And as I went back to sleep, I got another dream. And in this dream, guys, my mom is in my dreams a lot because we're very close. And sorry about that noise. It's actually the train passing by. So yeah, I was saying, my mom was in the dream again, and we were at home, and like she was busy in the kitchen making food and stuff. And as she was busy making food, I got the sense of urgency, or something told me to just go outside and look. So I went outside and I looked up in the sky, and I saw the dark clouds creeping in. I just saw darkness creeping in. Just it was coming in so slowly, but it was coming, and it was getting dark. And I ran back inside the house, and I said to my mum, I think the 3 days of darkness is starting. And she said, are you sure? And then I said yes. And as we were like trying to think what we should do, we heard like this loud siren. Just the both of us, we heard this loud siren as if it was a warning to say, get ready, you know, you guys need to prepare. So then we quickly jumped at it, and we ran outside, and we wanted to give our dogs, because we have dogs, we wanted to give our dogs food and make sure that they have food and water, and basically lock them inside, because we didn't want to leave them outside in the darkness. So then we did that. We gave them food, we fed them and everything, and just prepared for them to be inside, and they got inside. And then I had to call my siblings, and in real life, guys, I'm the only child to my mother, but I do have half siblings. But then I had to call my brother and my sister, and I first called my brother, and I was like, come home now, the 3 days of darkness is about to start. And my brother was a bit skeptical, but suddenly I saw him come, and he came in the house, and he was home, and I was relieved. And then I had to call my sister, and I was like, oh no, sorry, my sister came, and she came with a friend, right? And we told the friend, go home to your family, because the 3 days of darkness is about to happen. And then the friend didn't believe us. She was like, oh no, what are you guys talking about? It's just nighttime that's coming. She thought that it was just the nighttime, you know, like the sun going down. We were like, no, go home now. Lock yourself inside with your family. Don't you dare go out, because you're gonna die. That's what we said. We said, you're gonna die if we go inside. And so like she kind of like froze for a bit, and she panicked, and she thought, okay, maybe I need to get home. And then she left. And then I said to my sister, go to the bedroom and just wait there. We have to wait. 3 days of darkness is about to start. So then my siblings were home, my family was home, and we locked our doors and everything. Everything was locked, the gates, everything was locked. And we were inside the house, and we were sitting in a bedroom, and we were sitting there waiting. And I told myself, oh no, we need to cover the windows. And we need to cover the windows with like black plastic. And so we took like black plastic, and we just covered the whole the windows. We covered everything. We covered it twice to make sure that no light can be seen from the outside. And then we did that. We covered the windows, and then we had water, and I can't remember if we had food or not. And then after we were done bringing in the water, covering the windows, I could feel the nervousness. It felt so real, like the nerves were just kicking in about the fact that the entire earth was gonna be in complete darkness. I was so scared of the noises that I was going to hear from the outside, of bad things happening outside. And I was so nervous, and I was so scared. At the same time, I had this comfort that Jesus would protect us. I knew that we were gonna be safe inside, and Jesus was gonna be with us, and he was gonna protect us. And literally, we just the darkness was creeping in. Like, it wasn't completely dark at that time, but we were now ready, and we were sitting, and we were literally just waiting. And we were waiting. We knew that in just about a few minutes, it was going to be complete darkness and complete chaos. So we just sat, and we waited for the darkness to fully cover the earth. And we had our lights also. We had chargeable lights and everything with us as well. That's what I remember. And that's it. And then I woke up from that dream. And I got both those dreams the same night, just hours from each other, or an hour from each other. Yeah. So guys, this was my confirmation. Also, if you check out Brother Byron Searle's prophecy which he posted, I think on the 10th of September this year. You can check it out on his blog page, Byron Sorrell, or you can check it out on 444 Prophecy News. Just Google 444 Prophecy News. So it's 444 Prophecy News, and just check for the date of September 10th. And it's called Dark Matter by Byron Searle, and his vision was about 3 days of darkness, and how it's actually literally what he saw was actually how it's going to happen, like what is going to cause the 3 days of darkness. Because so many people were saying that maybe it's Nibiru, or maybe maybe it's just God gonna block the sun, or something's gonna happen to the sun. But no, go and check out Byron Searle's prophecy called Dark Matter, which he posted on the 10th of September. And he literally was shown a vision of how it's going to start, how the 3 days of darkness is going to start. And it's so scary, but we shouldn't be scared. We shouldn't be scared, because Jesus will be with us. For all those who aren't ready for Jesus' coming, please get ready now. Forsake the world, forsake your worldly goals and dreams of being rich and finances and things. Forsake all of that. There is no time for that. Now is the time to seek God. Now is the time to seek the Lord Jehovah. He is coming, guys. He is coming so soon. This year is going to be 1 year to remember. It's going to be quite the year. I'm nervous myself, but I'm excited at the same time. So guys, please repent and ask the Lord to show you any sins that you need to repent of. Repent, guys, because literally we don't have time. Time is finished. Thank you guys for listening. I'm sorry this video is so long. Thank you guys. God bless.